You're talking over me now. You're talking over me now.
Because they're not making any sense.
This building is
They're not
closed.
making any sense, though.
Okay, what part of this building is closed does not make sense?
It's a public government building.
Okay, they're closing it. It's closed.
It's a
Sir, I
government
need you to
building.
slide out of the way, please.
This is a government
Sir, I just want you to please get out of the way.
I just want to please talk to the
You can
commissioner
have this,
who's
you
in
can have
the
this, you
building.
can have this discussion all day long once this door is closed.
Well, how do we talk to the people
How do we talk
inside?
to people inside if it's
Here's
locked?
the
This
deal.
is a
We're paying
government
them.
building.
We're paying
Again,
them.
This is a
They're not understanding. We can't say the same
This building?
There was no transparency.
Why are they closing?
Why are they
Because of us.
closing?
Because of the
Because
president.
of us.
That doesn't answer the
First
question,
of
though.
all, you're asking a person, I am a police officer.
We were told it was because of
You're
us.
asking me to make sure that this place is secure.
But you're doing
That's
It
your
was
my
because
job.
of us.
Can we speak to someone in there?
I'm not doing their bidding.
You are.
Here's the deal, they're asking because this is
You're asking because they say they're
I
asking.
am doing their, they're asking.
So if I call and say, can you
So
get
we're
us in the
asking
building,
you a
you do
question.
our bidding?
What's the
We
threat
have the
that
right to
caused
be
them
here.
to close?
What's the threat?
I don't know.
A press conference about a woman who was
The press
sexually
conference is
assaulted?
out here. Just told them they're-
No, we
they're
were
okay
in
with
there.
that.
We were in there.
They're okay with that.
We were in there.
We
they
were
kicked
in
us
there.
out.
Right, they
He's
don't
not
want you in
listening.
there.
And we want to speak
And that was the
to the
reason.
department. No, we want to speak to the central office staff, which is
And
there.
who's making that demand?
the-
We need to know who's making that demand.
The
Who's
building
in charge?
management does not want it open.
Can you
They say
please-
it's closed.
Can we
you
get
please-
the
I am
name
not
of
going
that
to do
person?
anything more than what I need to do, and that's close this door.
But you work for us too, don't you?
Yeah.
Right, this is not about you.
Do we have to wait
It's
for
not
him?
about
We have
this
to wait
building.
for
This
him.
See, you
building is closed.
misunderstood me. You deliberately
It's
misunderstood
totally
me.
about us. We're the
But
community.
he doesn't have
Don't
to.
matter.
That's what it
Spit at me,
is.
please. If you could just give me a little space.
Yeah, I spit when I talk.
The Supreme
So-
Court ruled
That's an
higher
assault.
cops, but low intelligence.
Can we please
Very low
No, you
intelligence.
cannot go inside.
ask? Can you have someone from the Department of Corrections come
Do you know
to
what's
to
going
us?
on?
Explain to me.
Because they are closing
What
the
was
building.
explained to
You
you? Maybe
guys
we don't
are
have your
officers.
understanding.
You know what's going on here?
Following them.
Can we
Officer, do
understand
you know
what
what's
was
going on
explained?
here? Do you realize what's at stake here?
Do you realize
That he's.
No,
that
could
I
you
have-
answer
I
that
have-
question?
Yes, I do understand what's going on.
Okay.
Okay, and I understand your press conference.
This is SF Moore, your prison lawyer, and I got a theory why the doors are closed and we can't get into the DOC. Old Paul Snell up there getting his photo on. Go ahead, get your photo on. Go ahead, get your photo on. Go ahead, get your photo on. It's your birthday. Get your photo on. It's your photo on. Get your photo on.
Who is the person from the Department of Corrections?
I did not get her name.
You need to get her name.
No, I don't need to get
What's
her
going
name.
on, bro? How you
How
doing?
can we
Because I
verify
saw
it?
her ID.
And then in the meantime, this mother cannot speak.
Let's go.
This is SAF Mo, your prison lawyer, and I'm gonna give it to you raw, or I ain't gonna give it to you at all. On IGSTS, on GP. You feel me?
We done a long time behind these walls, man. We ain't forget about none of you brothers, man. We love y'all, man. Now we just wait for y'all to come on home, man, and join this cause. Y'all hear me? For sure. Restorative justice has worked wonders in the Native American communities, ending sexual abuse in one generation. Transformative justice has done great things in cities that have experimented with this form of rehabilitation. The numbers show that expanding work release is far more beneficial than warehousing. Education, higher education, and technical training reduces recidivism astronomically. If these forms of justice work, and the priority is community safety, we have to ask the question, why are these programs not being utilized? When these programs are not offered, women become single parents. Young black men end up dead and in prison and have no understanding of what manhood is. Young black women lack security, provision, and love and nurturing. Communities of color, they lack strong leaders and black role models. Men who have sworn they are ready to fulfill these roles must be given these opportunities. It is time to fill these voids, return these men to their communities. I love y'all brothers, man.
Thank you, twin. Up next, we have Marvina wanting to talk about her brother. Free Marvin Haynes and free everyone in prison. Free our fathers, y'all. Can you say that? Free our fathers.
Free our fathers!
All our fathers.
All of our fathers!
Free our fathers.
Free our fathers!
All of our fathers.
All of our fathers!
Free our fathers.
Free our fathers!
All of our fathers.
All of our fathers!
Free our brothers.
Free our brothers!
All of our brothers.
All of our brothers!
Free our brothers.
Free our brothers!
All of our brothers.
All of our brothers!
Now, Marvina Haynes, right here.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Can we say justice for Marvin Haynes?
Justice for Marvin Haynes!
Justice for Marvin Haynes.
Justice for Marvin Haynes!
Justice for Marvin Haynes.
Justice for Marvin Haynes!
Okay, I'll start. Hello, my name is Marvina Haynes. I'm the sister of Marvin Haynes, who has been wrongfully convicted for the last 18 years for a murder that he did not commit. Okay, so I'll start over. Okay, so I'm here today with my organization, Minnesota Wrongfully Convicted Judicial Reform. I have with me Robert Johnson and Tommy.
There you go. That's fine.
Hi, I'm Robert Johnson. I met up with Marvina, and I've been fighting to help get Marvin out. The stuff that we found in his case, it expands across multiple cases, and it was police just not doing their job, suppressing evidence, railroading people, and we found that through multiple cases. It seems like if it's a black kid, they don't really care about the facts, and guess what they're going to do? They're just going to make it fit their story, especially in the high-profile cases. It seems to be the same officers and the same prosecutors. I'm for the Constitution and for everybody's rights, and you know what? These people still have rights, even if they're in there. They need to be treated like human beings.
Oh, y'all gonna make me speak?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, my name is Tommy, and my boyfriend's in there, Lincoln Caldwell. He's been incarcerated for 16 years now, and we've been fighting real hard. But with Robert's help, we're working it out. You know, yeah. Free Lincoln Caldwell, free Mook Mook. Okay. So, as you guys know, I'm Marvina Haynes. I'm Marvin Haynes' older sister. He has been wrongfully incarcerated for the last 18 years for a murder that he didn't commit. That ain't right. I'm also a part of Minnesota Wrongful Convicted Judicial Reform, but today I'm here to stand with all the fathers who are incarcerated. Marvin's absence has greatly affected my family. My children have lost the opportunity to be raised with a strong black role model. Marvin has lost the opportunity to bring his own children into the world, to start a family. Amen. How many innocent and over-sentenced men sit behind these walls here at Stillwater Prison, missing out on the opportunity due to the injustices of this justice system? Dysfunctional justice system. Yep. Our communities are suffering. Our children are suffering. These men are suffering. Their families are suffering. Why are these things happening? Furthermore, what do we tell our children when they ask where their dad's at? Their uncles, their grandfathers. They are literally erasing generations of minority people history when this mass incarceration happens. How do we continue to let this happen? I ask again, how do we as a society continue to let this happen to our people? How do we hold ourselves accountable for what's happening? How do we hold DOC accountable for what they're doing to our community?
That's right.
Addressing the problem, fixing the problem so it won't keep affecting the same communities. Again, my name is Marvina Haynes, and I'm here with Minnesota Wrongfully Convicted Judicial Reform. And if you want to know more information about us, you can reach out to me at Marvina, MARVINAH6 Thank you guys so much, and justice for Marvin Haynes.
Come on, say his name.
Say his name.
Marvin Hayes.
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 Yes, thank you so much. And just like Marvina is saying, we have to hold the DOC accountable. If they wanted to, they could release 20% of our fathers tomorrow who are already assessed as low risk on the work release program. They could send them home to work or go to college. 20% of the Minnesota prison population tomorrow. This is ridiculous that they're not following their own damn laws. Thank you. Now we're going to bring up Roro. Is that right? Come on up. Step right up. Tell them who you are.
Hey, what up? Hey, my name Roro. I used to be 20, 69, 81 in this bitch right here. You feel me? Yeah, I had bad days in this motherfucker. I had some worse days, you feel me? But, you know, I learned a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no place that you want nobody to be at, you feel me? And I listen to everybody address the things they address, because I ain't really putting no speech together, nothing like that. I just come out here to just show support to all of the organizations that's out here, you know, because them brothers need that, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, Mother's Day is a very important day, you know what I'm saying? But Father's Day ain't even important in the free world, so imagine how they feel up in there. You know what I'm saying? They don't even feel nothing. They can't feel nothing. They gotta close all that shit and just move through the day. If they don't, then they gonna have problems. You know what I'm saying? The CEO's gonna have problems. I see a abusive CEO signing out here and everything. So, you know, it's all kinds of issues in there for them brothers up in there. It's not just free Marvin Hayes, it's free all the bros in there, for real. It's free all of them, because it's innocent people like Marvin, Lincoln. It's so many free, even if they did do dirt, they still innocent because they didn't know what the fuck they was doing. All they knew was they was rolling with their homies. You know what I'm saying? All they know was they had to get something to eat. They didn't know no other way. You know, it's so much going on, bro. I'm just gonna close out because I could do this shit all day, for real. And I know Skiz, I know my nigga Twin, I know all them know how I get down. I ain't even gonna keep on going on and on and on, because I can't keep on going on and on and on. But I'm not. I'm gonna let y'all go on here and get back to it, you feel me? I appreciate all y'all though.
Appreciate you, man. Next we got Pee Wee coming up, and you wanna come up too, Miss Margaret? Okay. Here we go. Thank you, Pee Wee. Can we give a shout out?
Enough respect, enough respect. Yeah, I'm Pee Wee Dread. I grew up in New Orleans, and I watched the injustice for a long, long time. Since I've been in Minnesota, I've been handcuffed, arrested, and protested, and still nothing has changed. Yeah, man, when I first came to Minnesota in 1992, went to McAllister, graduated, sociology, religion, political science, you name it, no matter. They still do the same thing. They handcuffed me outside the door, said they look for somebody. Oh, he had short dreads and an automatic weapon. But me know me not have none of that. So that's just a joke. And they do it to black people because see that youth right there? They're afraid of him. And he'll not do nothing. Third grade, if he's not reading at this level, he's on the prison pipeline. You know what I mean? So, yesterday and the day before, they took away the right of a woman to choose to do her body. Because women in America have been property for the longest time, along with black people. And in this building, they're protecting their property. They treat the man like property. That's why they can't come out, because they don't know what to change their property with. but I have a news for him. This one's for the leaders who are fighting wars all over the world. This one's for the leaders who are fighting wars all over the world. Think about the youth who are crying out, dying out for love. Victims of the system, they divide and grow to break us down and tear us apart. What is the future for the human race? When will the children grow to take our place? Where is the love that we should all embrace? I do believe it's here for you and me. This one's for the leaders who are fighting wars all over the world. Yeah, man, this one for my brother Jesse Curry. And that's why I'm here. Part of the reason why I'm here. But I'm not just here for Jesse, because there's a million Jessies, millions and millions all over our country. The jail population is one of the 5th largest cities in America if it was to be combined all together. The implications, the cash flow, the probation, the supervision, the nonstop, constant, it's just never stopping. So, you know, you go to North Minneapolis and you can't drive through North Minneapolis, but then you can't drive through South Minneapolis, you can't drive through St. Paul, you can't drive through Falcon Crest, whatever the name of them city, because they have to investigate who you are if you're brown in a car. They want to just find out, pull you over, they don't need to see, lights out, bullshit. You know how many times I've been pulled over for a license plate light being out? I'm so glad when they killed that law. Do you know how much people went to jail for secondary offense? Yeah, man, that's what it was all about, because when they run out of money, they come after we. I'm gonna have to say it, white don't eat white. Reality. Because it's not us fighting us. Yeah, we may have black on black crime, but not us fighting us. We're not going in there, we're not setting up airplanes full of crack drops, meth drops. We don't have factories of fentanyl and ISO, whatever else is out there on the street. They call us animals illiterates, but they still hide because they won't help us to deal with this. They'll trick you, tell you not to trust me. My words is oil because justice is rusty. How long we gonna let our fathers suffer? Word to the black brother. Yeah, man, all fathers and mothers that's incarcerated, respect. Pee Wee Dread, 40 out of poverty, Dread I Dread, Rastafari.
Thank you. Now Miss Anika, you wanna come up here? Can we give it up for Miss Anika?
Thank you. Hey, I just want to give it up to IWOC for even hosting this space. It's so meaningful and so important. Here, I don't want this to be flying all over the place. When I saw the event on Facebook, it just really, really warmed up my heart, because for many years, Father's Day used to be a day of grief, because right here in this space was my dad several times. My dad was incarcerated for 8 years. He was actually feds, so not technically the space, but in Sandstone, and Sandstone, and if you know, with feds, they ship you across states. So he spent his last 3 years in Ohio, but before I was even born, my dad spent several years here, and he grew up in the Twin Cities, mainly in Minneapolis and St. Paul. Went to California throughout his teenage years, and came back to be an entrepreneur. He came back because he really loved his family. The Jones, the Scarvers, the Bowies out there were heavy, so he came out here to just really start a family, opened up a grocery store and was giving back, and he was harassed constantly by St. Paul Police Department. And how he ended up actually getting locked up was not even a real charge. It was more of a technical violation. He had to serve 2 years here at Stillwater. And when he was here at Stillwater, my mom gave birth to his firstborn, my sister. Many of y'all don't know that I had an older sister. Her name was Natasha Bowie. And while he was here in Stillwater, he never had a chance to hold her, touch her, nothing. He wasn't even there for the delivery. And the guards was very strict. This is, of course, a very inhumane space. So whenever my mom would bring my sister here, he'll always ask the guard, can I please just touch her leg? Can I touch her foot? Can I touch her toe? Can I touch her hair? They always denied him. And it was in the May 25th, the same day George Floyd was killed, my mom came here and brought my sister, and he again asked, can I please just touch her leg? And the guard denied him. And that same night, my sister had passed away from SIDS. And the very next day, getting the call that his firstborn had passed away, and the guards having to deal with that grief, right? Having to deal with the shame and the reality of this place, that not only are you locking up a human being, but you are keeping a separation. You're locking up families from their loved ones. You're separating fathers from their daughters, fathers from their kids. And it's extremely inhumane. If it was about rehabilitation and about restoring, exactly. If it was about rehabilitation, wouldn't you think human contact would be one of those things that we would want to protect, preserve? That we are human beings, we're not trained to be dogs. And actually in the state of Minnesota, I would say that we treat dogs better than we do treat Black lives, our incarcerated folks. And so I usually say, before I got into activism, I was an artist, and I had a poem where I opened up talking about I'm a prayer from a prison cell. And being a prayer from a prison cell really sits deep with me when it comes to prison abolition, because reform is one thing, but we know we need to just abolish this whole system. Was the fact that hearing about the birth story, hearing about just like my dad and how I came into Inception was through that deep pain, that deep grief of this place. And I was also part of the NAACP with Dr. Raj. I want to just give it up for Dr. Raj. She's always holding it down for us, always making sure we have this space and looking out for us. But when Jason Soul was president for the Minneapolis NAACP, it was part of our mission for us to come back to these spaces and show our faces and let them know that NAACP is not this elite group that's just, talking about the very people that we're not building relationships with. And so we came here several times, also had the opportunity to come here for Black History Month and speak and connect with the brothers. I remember seeing Mayan before he was even out and just like showing him love. That just means so much. And all of these things have impacts on it, right? Being here is not just being here. Being here is so we can make those connections, and so when they come home, they know that this is a space for them to be, that we're going to continue growing this movement. So I just want to just say happy Father's Day to the brothers on the other side of the wall. We love you. We love you. Happy Father's Day. Also, happy Father's Day. I want to just send love out there to the universe, to all the children out there, all the children of incarcerated family members. It's about, back in the day, 2010, it was 2 million. I'm sure it probably grew. And not only are we talking about children, but, we are people where we got tons of cousins, right? Cousins, brothers, aunties, uncles, like, all the fam. These are loved ones. And even coming back here for Black History Month, it was crazy because I spotted like 4 cousins right at the audience. And I was just like, damn, I haven't seen you in years. And this is where you are, right? And so it's just, this is hard work. You know, this is really a labor of love. You know, some people, they go to school and like, they want to learn about it, and I think that's good too. You should have the technical information. You should know the laws. You should know the policies. You should know like how to navigate these systems, right, in the language they use. But at the end of the day, when things get tough and when it gets hard and when you wake up and realize the matrix and the reality, you know, of like how the 13th Amendment is really acting out, you know, here, it takes a lot of heart to continue doing this work. So I just want to say thank you to y'all for having the heart, and that's also a testimony to me. I have to remind myself every single day, you know, just get back into it, right? Because this is hard work, this is a labor of love, and I believe freedom is love uncaged. So, peace, y'all.
Peace. Give it up for Anika. That was so powerful. So we're gonna take like a 5-minute break, get some food, build some fellowship, meet each other, okay? Talk to people you don't know. We'll end on that note for about 5-10 minutes, then we'll come back and finish up speeches. So thank you to everyone who have spoken, and we got a great round of speakers. We're gonna come back in about 5.
For coming out here. This is such a beautiful day. And I know we could probably be doing other things, watching a game or whatever it is, playing with folks, letting them play with you. So, first thing I want to say though is that these responses are a direct response to let people know that we're not just going to accept business as usual. What we've tolerated for so long and with our compliance is our own oppression. Keep in mind, and I have to say this every time I stand in front of folks, every time we put tax dollars, hard-earned tax dollars, in these folks' hands, we're allowing them to do what they're doing to us. No taxation without representation. That's what they said a long time ago. I didn't write that, they did. Now keep in mind, you have to follow the money. Ever since I was a little boy, when people are looking this way, for some reason I find myself looking that way. And I see so much stuff. You have to look at this thing, you have to look deep into this thing. Keep in mind, convicted felons can't vote, but guess what? They can pay taxes.
Right.
So this whole country and the whole way that the system is designed is they always want something for nothing. You've got privilege, and I don't care about people being privileged, but pay for your own privilege. See, the way they got this thing constructed is they take our money as well as their own money, and we will never be able to catch up like this. We got a system where it drains money from the marginalized. It's poor people that actually pay far more taxes than rich people do. But some kind of way, things seem like they're so natural and so everyday, we don't challenge a lot of things. And I do pray that we will begin to understand and to look deeper and to seek deeper into the things and the powers that really oppress us as a people. There's a thing that it's a private term that I use, it's besides racism, there's placism. They want to place us in certain things. If they can't bottle us into a racial thing, then you got a lot of white people that suffer with this system. It's not only black people, but the thing is that maybe the only difference is that the white skin does give a person a little bit of privilege, but middle class whites and lower class whites are oppressed just like black people are. We have to make up our minds how we want to go about doing things, and part of it is educating the people. We have a mythical thing about prisons. You know, 3 hots and a cot, free medical care. It's the most atrocious medical care you could ever experience, is being behind bars locked up. I'm here to tell you. Yeah. So we have to dispel all these notions, and educating people is a big part of this, because the people are intentionally fed nonsense. And a lot of times we don't feel like we're affected by certain things. It affects all of us. What we have to begin to do, people, is learn and grow and educate. I remember I was about 2 years into my sentence. I had a cellmate. I was at Faribault. Real nice guy, real easy to talk to. And I was feeling real dreary. It was a cold March morning. And I'm looking at all this stuff they had written about me. They made me look like I was Charles Manson. And so the Holy Spirit spoke to me. He said, "You are a child of the Most High, and you have to believe what I say about you, that I'm one of his anointed." The thing is that I have a criminal history that goes back 50 years. 50 years. And compared to, I'm just going to use this guy as an example, that Derek Chauvin, whatever his name is, I look like Mother Teresa compared to Derek Chauvin. He's a serial killer, a tax evader, and this is who we had on our payroll. This is who we were supporting. And there's a whole gang of other ones out there just like him. We got to think about these things, people, and we're doing it. You can't put money in a person's hand and tell them what to do with it. Once we put the money in their hands, it's nice to say, hey, look, let's defund the police, let's do this, let's do that. Once we put it in their hands, it's really their money, and they do whatever they want to do with it. We have got to stop. We need tax reforms where we can spend money where we want it spent. I'd rather have my money spent towards education, better housing, rather than have some thug go out there and kill my children and my grandchildren. I'd rather pay for something that really benefits me. What we have to do is do some things in a more constructive and really mature way. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Philip. Can you give Philip a shout out?
Yo, sir, Phil.
All right, next we have Chantel Allen to the stage, to the front, to the bars. What are we doing here?
I'll spit a few bars. First, let me tell you, I wear a lot of hats. So I'm on the St. Paul School Board. I'm not a politician. I am there specifically to end the school-to-prison pipeline.
Yeah.
I also am the co-founder of Black Lives Matter Twin Cities. And so I believe in Black lives. I believe in the liberation of black people. And some of our folks, man, unfortunately, are extremely, we talk about the ones that are walking the streets that are oppressed because we're followed by the police and harassed. We talk about the ones that are in the store and they come out and they're grabbed up by police officers and their knees are put on their neck and they're murdered. We talk about the ones that are riding down the street and officers pull guns and are fearful of their dreads and shoot them. But we don't talk about these brothers right here who have been wrongly incarcerated. And we could talk about the ones that, you know, literally their cases were garbage. They just looked and said, we're going to incarcerate that black man. But we also should talk about the brothers that just made a mistake. We should talk about the need to move towards a restorative culture. We talk about restorative justice, but we got to get to a restorative culture. We have to get to a place where we learn to resolve conflict through communication without violence. And that includes our police officers. That includes our justice system, because that's violent. To keep these brothers from their family, to keep these brothers from their children, as Nika Bowie spoke about, that is violence. And we have to start to call that out, right? And so lately I've been really, I talked about, you know, I do a lot of the front end work of ending the school to prison pipeline. I work on the school system and all that. But lately I've been really trying to connect with my brothers that have been previously incarcerated to really hear what's happening in there, because a lot of my students are in there now. So I've been working in the school system for 20 years, and so unfortunately my work was not successful in a lot of situations because the system is bigger than me, which is why I ran to get on the school board, because I just couldn't take it anymore. So I started having these conversations, and to hear these brothers talk about the hopelessness and the way that they feel as if nobody out here wants them to come home, that just made me say, you know what? We're small, but we are mighty.
Right.
And so I'm going to need to do a little bit of chanting out here. And my voice is going to get a little loud because I'm trying to make sure that they hear us right quick. So we're just going to chant real quick, your life, it matters here. And I want y'all to bring that all the way from your gut. Now, don't blow your voice because I got more. All right, you ready? All right, so just chant with me. Your life, it matters here.
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 Your life, it matters.
Because see, brother, we need y'all in the streets right now. Our women and our children are at war. And we need you out in these streets to defend us.
Yeah.
We need you to fight as hard as we're out here fighting for you. We need you to fight to get out here.
Yeah.
Because despite what the system has told you, we love you. We love our black brothers. And we need y'all out here with us in these streets, protecting us as you were called to do.
Yeah.
See, the system recognizes that black men are here to protect our women and children.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, in the 70s, it became policy under Black Panther movement to protect women and children.
Yeah, yeah.
And so what they had always thought about, right, they were seeing in plain view. And so then they amped up their systems. And they started to make sure that not just the regular brothers walking down the street, but they started targeting leaders to put them behind there because they recognized that they needed to remove these brothers from our communities so that we would feel unprotected. But see, here in 2022, it's a new day for black women.
Yeah.
And I don't know if y'all been seeing the movement that's been happening for the last quite a few years, but black women are rising up.
Yeah.
And so you can't just incarcerate our brothers and keep us from coming in these streets to fight back.
Right.
We are here and we're here to stay. I am so happy to be here with all of y'all. I'm here in solidarity. I will continue to show up because I can't just fight on the front end. I got a front right here because there's a lot of brothers in there that need us right now. So at the end of my speeches, I always revert back to Assata Shakur.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's a sister who's been avoiding the FBI. She's in Cuba right now. She was a Black Panther, and the FBI actually is seeing her as a major threat for being an organizer. And so she has this speech that we do in Black Lives Matter, but I want to do it extra loud because I want these brothers to hear what I'm talking about. And I want them to hear the fire that we have out here. I want them to understand that there are people in these streets day in and day out, staring at walls, staring at the commissioners that are in the faces of the mayors. And we are serious about freeing our brothers. So just repeat after me. We have a duty to fight for our freedom.
We have a duty to fight for our freedom.
We have a duty to win.
We have a duty to win.
We must love and support one another.
We must love and support one another.
Because we have nothing to lose but our chains.
We have nothing to lose.
Now I'm going to say that real strong so they understand what I'm saying. We have a duty to fight for our freedom.
We have a duty to fight for our freedom.
We have a duty to win.
We have a duty to win.
We must love and support one another.
We must love and support one another.
Because we have nothing to lose but our chains.
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 Free them all.
Free them.
Can we say that? Free them all!
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 Thank you. Let's bring up Jonathan McClellan right here, policy man right here. Come on up. Give him a shout out.
All right. My name is Jonathan McClellan, the president of the Minnesota Justice Coalition. We are part of a collective of organizations that work with families and community to draft and advance legislation and other policy initiatives at the Capitol here in St. Paul and in Washington, D.C. As Abraham Lincoln put it in his second inaugural address, the principal task ahead of our country at that time was to bind the nation's wounds. Here we are over 250 years later, still seeking to bind those deep racial wounds. We are in a state of affairs of our quest to obtain justice and equality, with Minnesota being ground zero of the match that has sparked this outpouring of consciousness for our shared community. We are still here waiting to cash that check that has fallen on a bankrupt system of expedient politicians, administrators, and tolerant allies of the same in opposition to progress for a more perfect union. For far too long, we have been victims of this plague, and we're here to say no more. No more to policies that divide us based on our diversity. No more to policies that break up families of color. No more to hashtags. No more to policies that put all the eggs in the basket of white imperialism while paying lip service to our communities of color and our never-ending fight for justice. No more to the boots on our necks of our children, our brothers, our sisters, our uncles, our fathers, our nieces and nephews, our friends, and our future. Like the slaveholders of the South in the founding of this country, the opposition to progress fights for unrighteousness. They argue for division. They promote through their actions or lack thereof a distorted reality that places one class of people over the other and fails to see the humanity in all that is sacred under God. They turn their back to the promise that all men are created equal and have been endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights: the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We are not asking for a handout. We want your boot off our neck. Yeah. We want a fair shot. We want a level playing field, not a hill we have to climb and fight with one hand tied behind our back or a knee on our neck and a gun to our head or the head of our children. Law enforcement for decades has been pushing legislation to chip away at our civil liberties, our rights, and our communities by pushing policies that absolve them of their crimes, weaken and remove the checks of accountability, transparency, and justice with access to unlimited resources and unfettered access to our elected leaders. Our fight is for a lasting change, a commitment to the people, a commitment through policy that has had a lopsided application for far too long. In this time and with the events that have plagued our communities, it's long overdue. Not just for our brothers and sisters out in our communities, but also for our brothers and sisters sitting behind bars because of a system that has historically profited off of black, brown, and poor people's bodies and taken advantage of slavery provisions in our Constitution, and then perpetuate the cycle of recidivism by failing to support the incarcerated and the formerly incarcerated. In 1974, the Minnesota legislature declared that it is the policy of the state of Minnesota to encourage and contribute to the rehabilitation of criminal offenders and to assist them in the resumptions of the responsibilities of citizenship, the opportunity to secure employment or to pursue, practice, or engage in a meaningful or profitable trade, occupation, vocation, profession, or business is essential to the rehabilitation and the resumptions of the responsibilities of citizenship.
Yeah.
They have failed in this very mission. So I'll end with Happy Father's Day, and you matter, you are somebody, and you are loved. Thank you.
Yeah.
Shout out Jonathan McClellan, thank you so much. Give it up, give it up. Yeah, if there was reparations, there'd be no prisons. There wouldn't be prisons. We got two more speakers unless someone wants to jump in. You want to jump in? Okay, come on up. Step up, step up. Maya Burrell, thank you.
Damn, man. What's happening, bees? I mean, this first off, I want to thank all of y'all for coming out and helping, you know what I'm saying, supporting all the brothers that's incarcerated, all of the fathers that's incarcerated. Right now, it's a dire time where brothers are really in a state of hopelessness and they need support from our community. We need our people to come through. And so for y'all to come out here and show up and show out, like, it means a lot to me. These are my people. This is where I came from. I came from these same conditions. I came from the same facility. This is a very spiritual situation. Nah, and I just fucked up. It's a spiritual situation for me, right? Like this, I spent a majority of my life in this place. So to sit in front of here and know that I still got people that I care about, you know what I mean, people that I love. What's happening, Beverage? You know what I'm saying? You feel me? What's happening, Outlaw? What's happening, Go Pimpin'? You feel me? What's happening? You know what I'm saying? We out here. You know what I'm saying? What's happening, Flow Rider and Bees? What's happening? You know what I'm saying? Hey, I promise you, I love y'all to life. You know what I'm saying? We out here, we pushing, you know what I'm saying? The door's gonna come open. You know what I mean? And it means something. Hey, and the phone's acting real brand new, so I promise you, if y'all don't call and I ain't pick up, well, I be loud to loud, the phone ain't acting right. You know what I'm saying? Holler at J-Pay, man, Global Tel League, Core Leagues and shit, man, them over here got me fucked up, bruh. You know what I'm saying? For real. But it means, it means something for real. All joking aside, this place is designed to breed hopelessness. And so when y'all get up there and y'all talking about the experiences of people being in there, you got to know that this was the design, that this place was designed to be that way. You know what I mean? The system is functioning exactly the way it was created to function. In that hopelessness, this place is designed to create robots. You know, you get a man and you break him down, you take all of his humanity away, and then you expect from him to function on a level to where basically the machine is working correctly, a machine that feeds off human beings. You know what I mean? This is an industry. You know what I mean? So don't get it twisted at all. This is a plantation. I see a lot of people that work in here. I got respect for them. You know what I mean? I live with them for a long time. You know what I mean? And even with correctional officers, you know what I'm saying? Like I done seen the humanity in them as well. But at the same time, I'm well aware of the fact that I was housed in a plantation for over 18 years. You know what I mean? And it breaks my heart to know that, you know, my brothers behind me still being enslaved right now as we speak. You know what I mean? They still having to go out to the industry. This B-East right here, you know what I mean? They still going out and they finna slave. You know what I mean? They finna go out to that plantation. They gonna work for pennies on a dollar. You know what I mean? And that's all they have. But this is the way that this place is designed to function. So to be aware is to be alive. You know what I mean? And so even for y'all to come out here, I want y'all to know that it goes beyond that. You know, it's hella brothers that's up in there that need support. Reach out, tap in, I support y'all, you know what I'm saying? We wait on the foundation, we out here, you know what I mean? We putting it together, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's really happening, but like, it's gonna take more than just a few people to make something you know what I'm saying, happen, you know what I mean? Like, I walked out them front doors after spending, you know what I mean, a majority of my life in prison for a crime I didn't commit. And I know that there's brothers up in there that's in there right now for stuff that they didn't do. You know what I'm saying? I know the conditions of that place, you know? I know the desperation, I know how people would take deals for crimes that they didn't commit because they've been compelled to do so, being forced, you know what I'm saying, with ultimatums that basically, you know what I'm saying, this is it, or, you know what I'm saying, you're going to spend the rest of your natural life behind these walls. I've seen it happen. And so for y'all to come out here, like I said before, I appreciate every single one of y'all, and God willing, you know, you take the initiative to reach in, not just come out here, you know what I'm saying, and, you know, raise your voice and protest, you know what I mean? I see it, it's boots on the ground. Like, I've seen where 1,000 people show up, you know what I mean, and get a phone call the next day, you know, brothers are still up in there hurting. They still starving, they still need support. You know what I'm saying? Brothers still need, you know what I'm saying, resources. It's hella brothers that's up in there that's litigating right now, fighting for their life, and they don't have nobody, they don't have no tools, they don't have any resources. We need to get out there and get them brothers and resources. Everybody that's out here could be an outside resource. This is reality, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's people that go in these facilities, you know what I'm saying, that are pushing the agenda of the powers that be. They're going in there for a reason, but you know what I'm saying, we can get up in there, you know what I'm saying, and do some good with those brothers, you know what I'm saying, and even giving them an avenue to where they can help themselves. So, yeah, I'm my real mind speaks to people's voice, wayfinder, you know what I mean? It's a blessing to be out here. It's a blessing to be on the other side of this wall. You know, it's heartbreaking to think that I was in there for so long, and it breaks my heart even more to know that my brothers is up in there still suffering. You know what I mean? And we ain't gonna stop until we all free, you know what I'm saying? Yes, we ain't free until we all free, you know what I'm saying? I love y'all to death, man. I love y'all to life. Hey, tell everybody else, hey, I was out here, man. I love y'all, man. 100. You feel me? Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam. Alhamdulillah.
Thank you, Maya. It's a spiritual situation for sure. Last two folks, unless someone else is jumping up here, we're going to hear a little bit about a recent Supreme Court ruling that's impacting the prison pipeline. Then we're going to hear from Mo, who also did time in this place. So, Rob, come on up.
I'm Robert Johnson. I was up here earlier with Marvina. I just wanted to make sure everybody was aware that this past Thursday, they changed the Miranda violation stuff, where when cops violate people's Miranda rights, they are no longer held civilly liable. Okay? The only recourse is to get it suppressed before it goes to court. In the courtroom, once they hear that, there's no recourse. Again, there is no recourse. So we need to make sure people know that and know their Miranda rights prior to encountering the officers, because those are rights.
Yeah, this system keeps trying to find new ways to make slavery work. Last but not least, we got Brother Mo coming to the front.
It's kind of blunt, trying to blow it off. So just hope to make just make sure it don't fall, go back.
Give it up, give it up, give it up, give it up.
What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? I want to thank everybody for coming out. I appreciate you coming out. I'm SAF Mo, the prison lawyer from the podcast. I got something to say. It's a lot of speakers that got up, and I pay honor to them. It's a privilege to follow them in this conversation about criminal injustice. But we need to understand, first and foremost, why they have this institution and where it came from. It's a plantation. But you really don't understand it until they shackle you, put you in the back of a vehicle, and bring you here. It feels like you're a slave again. It doesn't feel like it, you are a slave again. The problem with this institution, and I was just asked this question by one of the reporters here, why are you out here? Why are we out here? Why shouldn't we be out here? Why shouldn't we be out here supporting these individuals? Why shouldn't we? You know what I'm saying? The fact of the matter is, the DOC, the police department, Leo at his finest is fast to incarcerate an individual, but slow to release them. Ask yourself why. Why they so quick to put a person behind bars and throw away the keys, and they don't want to hear anything else after that? Nothing. I mean, I can't tell you how many. The reason I got the name SAF Mo, your prison lawyer, because anybody who know me, they can testify today. I stayed in the law library. I learned the law. Understand how these people get down. And that's what they don't want you to do. They do everything possible to keep you from knowing how they get down. Because once you figure it out and you become wise to it, and you understand, I ain't supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be home with my family. But that's a whole nother conversation. Because they want to put our communities disheveled and they can't function. They can't function because everybody ain't here. How the hell are we supposed to function? When the support to a family is the father, the mother, the children, and you take one of the integral parts out of it and you expect it to function. I was like, oh, come on, that make no sense. But yet still, this gentleman asked me a question about the work release program. And I told him 50% of the people, 20% of the people should be out after they're doing 50% of their time, and it's not being followed. And has anybody attempted to go through those routes to get themselves out? He asked me that question. I was thinking like, man, I didn't know about that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody was feeding me that information. You know what they was feeding me? They was dehumanizing me, making me feel like I need to take responsibility for a crime I did not commit. That's what they feed you. They never feed you a way to get out. And when I spoke to Chantel, I told her about the hopelessness of being in there. 4 walls, you in a bathroom with somebody. You're getting watched 24/7. They make you feel like something you're not. They don't make you feel like a father. They don't make you feel like a nephew. They don't make you feel like a cousin. They make you feel like less than an animal. And that's what slavery does. And that's what they do. And that's why we out here. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not out here because, for anything but to let y'all know what time it is. And I'm going to give you some receipts. I'm going to give you receipts today. I'm going to tell you that Harry Evans is in there. He should be out. I'm going to tell you Hassan Abdullahi is in there. He needs to be out. I'm going to tell you that Isan is in there. and he needs to be out. I'm gonna tell you Jacko needs to be out. I'm gonna tell you Carlos Smith needs to be out. I'm gonna tell you all these individuals I went to the law library with, and we struggled and we got denied over and over again by this racist ass criminal injustice system. They didn't want to hear about shit. Do your time. You know, that's what they told us. Shut up, do your time, stop complaining. You know, you gotta beg people to help you because that 3 cots and a meal thing is still a myth. You know, like they doing well in there. What they need support for? What they you know how much a noodle costs? You know how much a telephone costs? You know how much to wash your clothes? You know how much it costs just to be human in there? And I'm not the guards. Y'all listen to me too. Because it's not about the guards. They know what's going on. They could change the system. They could speak up. You know, I know there's some good individuals in there. You need to speak up. You know? I mean, come on, man. You know, I'm scared too. But I know there's a fight to be fought. When I walked through these doors, I was scared. But now it's a burning desire in me to correct my wrong. Because all through this week, I've been in many different spaces with different people. Youth, politicians, abolitionists, civil rights leaders. We talked. And the conversation has been a transformation of justice. You know, transformation, make it look different. How we do that? How do we do that? We do that what we're doing right now as a community. Prison lawyer. I'm out of here.
All right, last one, we got Kathy Stroud.
Appreciate you.
And Carla.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you guys for inviting me here. I'm so happy to be here. I just want to say that my son, he's been in here for 16 years, wrongfully in prison. I've been to Washington, D.C. twice. I done been out of like $200,000 for lawyers. I done cried, I done got sick, I done been in the hospital. He talking about the law library. I should be a lawyer. I stay in the library trying to get my son, Lincoln Lamar Caldwell, I love you. But what I want to say is good has came out of it because like the young man was saying before me, they need outside support. These prisoners need outside support. They need to know that somebody care about them, that somebody is thinking about them. I worked my butt off and I made sure my son was able to call me every day for 16 years. Yeah. I visit him every weekend for 16 years and encourage him and keep his hope up and faith and teach him. And he created Prison Politics If These Walls Could Talk. He said, Ma, everybody don't have that support in here. Everybody don't have no one to call. He said, everybody don't have no one to come and visit. Ma, they need support. Yeah. So before we start Prison Politics, he was just sending, Maya, no, he was just sending people to me and they was just calling, I love you too, sweetheart. You know, Ma, could you do this? You know, my tooth hurt. I sent the kite to the dentist a month ago, it ain't got pulled, you know, or I'm sick, I have no medication, you know, or I've been in the hole for 30 days and I was only supposed to be in there for 2 weeks. These prisoners do need support and help. They need that. A lot of them do not have it. And you know, if they get the more support and help they got, I think that helps them mentally too to start thinking about, well, it's time for me to come up out of here.
Yeah, tell it.
You know?
Yeah, tell it.
It's time for me to come up out of here.
Yeah.
So my son, I was mad at him. He took all this, you know, the prisoners got stimulus checks. And I was all happy. He said, He said, you gonna open up a podcast. I said, with every penny? He said, every penny. Can I have 1,000? No, Ma. He said, wait a minute. He said, this ain't the woman that's been coming up here visiting me. I was like, okay. All right, I'm done with it. He said, Ma, go open up a podcast called Prison Politics If These Walls Could Talk.
Yeah.
He said because it's time for us to help prisoners global around the world. He said get a trademark name so it can be global, so we can help all the prisoners. I was like, but this money could go to the lawyer. He said, I'm not worried about me. He said, I got you and God. I ain't worried about me. Yeah. He said, but it's a lot of them in here don't even know God and don't have nobody. He said, I ain't worried about me. And you know, really, man, that hit me so tough. I said, look at this man. You know, and then I get to talking about the judges. I'm gonna be honest. And the race, he said, don't even go there. It ain't even about that. I said, you're not even mad at the people? He said, for what? What is it gonna help to get mad? He said, I've learned since I've been here, you can't just say everybody is wrong and racist. He said, Mama, some of them is just ignorant and don't know. He said, so why not teach them? He said, you don't want to always talk about love. I was like, now wait a minute, this prisoner turned him into a preacher, a businessman, a daddy, because he sure felt like my daddy. I mean, he be calling and checking on me. Did you do that? I'd be like, yeah. And I was used to kind of like have feel like a daddy, you know? Yeah. You know, and then I'd call up to the prison. I mean, he'd call me and he'd be like, hold on, Ma, hold on. Get in there and wash your face and brush your teeth. I'd be like, who you talking to? And then one of his friends would get on the phone and say, a dude about 300 pounds and 6 feet tall. I was like, oh, don't do that. I'd be so scared. I said, you're going to be fighting in there. And he talking about, they're nothing but kids. I said, okay. You know? And I was like, are you sure they're not going to be mad at you? He said, I'm going to let you speak to them when they come back out the bathroom. He and my old girl want to speak to you. I was like, my son, we love your son. That's Papa. You know, and I've learned a lot from my son. So what I'm saying, if we support them, we can bring the best out in them, and they will help us get them out, because they on the inside, we on the outside. You see what I'm saying? All we got to do is unite, communicate, and love.
Yeah.
And y'all visit Prison Politics if these walls could talk. And my name is Kathy Stroud Caldwell. Monday through Friday. Friday is talent day. We invite prisoners and call in and say their little motivational speech. It's not non-profit, it's not government state, it's out our pockets. You see, I still got I'm working on Sundays. Working on Sundays. But it's a $30 cash prize. It's not much, but it's something. We put it right on their book. You know, but they call in with their little motivation speech. And some of them be called up there singing some terrible rap songs. I be like, hold on, how long you been in there? A motherfucker storm. I like, no, we ain't, And then my son be like, no, Mama, this is authentic. That's why I told you it's not going to be a non-profit or it's not going to be government. This is our thing. We do what we want to do. He said, let them just get it out. I was like, okay. I like, but boy, it sounds terrible to me, though. I'm telling you, it sounds terrible to me. But I love everybody. Give us a call. Watch us on Facebook, Prison Politics. Let's all get together and unite.
Yes, yes.
Support these brothers and them sisters and get them out of there.
Yeah, yeah.
United we stand, divided we fall. We got to stand together. And love conquers all.
Moya prison, Lloyd assessor, Moya prison, Lloyd assessor for Moya prison.
You're in a motherfucking real pit. You're in a real pit. This is SF Moya prison, Lloyd assessor, Moya prison, Lloyd assessor for Moya prison.